What's up, collective? Yep, we're doing this. I hope you're having a blessed day. The energy is, well, it's the same. I'm gonna keep saying that. It's gonna be the same for a while because that's kind of the point. The energy is like a pressure cooker right now. And what the universe is trying to cook is awakened souls. Is all of us awake and walking on the soul's path? And what does that mean? Well, first it means acknowledging not being awake, acknowledging not being on the soul's path, acknowledging being in karmic situations. What does that take? That takes acknowledging emotion. All of these things are like ingredients that are being added to the pot energetically, little by little. That's what all these interactions are happening between big planets, distant planets, planets that only come into these positions once every 30 years, 100 years, 300 years, in that realm of time. Pluto especially. Pluto is special, very special, as we all know. It is not included as a planet in NASA's opinion anymore, but whatever they think of it, it has a tremendous effect on the energy, primarily because its axis, its orbit, is different from every other planet in our solar system. It's actually tilted, so it's not on the same plane as other planets, which means its influence is uninterrupted and direct and kind of flies past anything else that's even affecting us. That's neither here nor there. What is important is we have tremendous interactions between Saturn, Jupiter, Pluto, and Chiron, which is healing, the planetary body of self-healing. There's a lot coming up in the month of March, and all of these aspects are ingredients towards the awakening of the planet, the awakening of unity consciousness, and it's creating a tremendous amount of pressure. I can feel an urgency in the energy, which is a little bit of what I wanted to pull on. I'm actually a little undecided. Yeah, pull on the urgency. Okay. There's an urgency in the energy that has been building and building and building and is continuing to build. And I'm on the outside looking in now. I am on freaking vacation in the 5D. I'm on a tropical island somewhere, sipping a coconut drink with a tiny umbrella in a beach chair, just watching the waves roll by. There's some big waves. Oh yeah. Urgency. I would not, it's not the typical meaning assigned to this card. It's the energy. This fawn is thirsty, desperately thirsty, been without milk for days, been looking for mama for a long time, can't get that milk anywhere else. Nope, it's gotta come from mama. It's time for us to align with the self, to stop trying to fill the holes in our being with other things. It's time to flow with the energy. There's been a lot of fighting it globally. It's time for karma to close. It's trying to. And the urgency is only going to increase. It's time for emotions to flow. That's what it is. All of this, the foundation of pushing us all onto the soul path, starts with feeling emotion. Actually feeling it, letting it express, not judging it, speaking it out. Letting it, it has to leave your body. It's one thing to acknowledge it within yourself. That's important. It's got to come out. And that means expressing it. That's a big part of what I'm even doing here. This is for me. This is for me to express the energy, because it's got to go somewhere. It can't stay in me. That's not how it works. That doesn't feel good. It doesn't produce anything positive. It's got to come out. So I'm expressing it. This is what we're all being pushed to do. This is a part of what I'm encouraging the energy to do, is to express through the voice. Actually talking about our feelings, actually speaking these truths aloud. It's one thing to acknowledge them internally. It's got to be expressed. It's got to be acted upon in some way. So this is a thirsty fawn. Let's see. Yeah, it's karma, actually, that is pushing us to, first of all, look more closely at the way we've been living, at the past. Realize how disconnected from ourselves we've been, how disconnected from our own manifestations and manifesting ability, because we're all manifesting all the time, constantly. You can't stop. In fact, every time you're daydreaming about something, that's a form of manifestation. Every time you feel an emotion, that is a manifestation. It's time to take a close look at the thoughts we've been thinking and the things we've been feeling, and understand why doesn't this add up? Something's not adding up here. Because we've been denying our emotions. You can't put a happy face sticker on the gas gauge. That's not how it works. You need to know when you add a gas. You need to know when you're feeling not good emotions, because that's what you're going to get back. That's what you're manifesting. Just repressing, just pretending that you're happy is going to bring you pretend happiness. We can't deal with pretend happiness anymore. The soul is awake. It's time for us to manifest based on our true soul's intentions, that which is actually nourishing to us. This fawn can't keep drinking artificial milk. It's got to be the real deal. Soul stuff. Soul substance. Soul nourishing. Which means we have to acknowledge that we've been manifesting not from that place. We've been manifesting karmic connections, which karma is not a dirty word. I'm going to keep repeating that for myself as much as anybody else. It's not a dirty word. Karma is here to teach us lessons. It's here to teach us, oh, I ain't been manifesting the way I thought I've been, because I've been doing it from a place that's actually unhappy, but because of the disconnection from emotion, I've been putting the sticker on it, not acknowledging the way I actually feel, and so I'm not getting what I think I'm getting, what I'm trying to actually create, because I'm not acknowledging the true emotional place that it's coming from. It's time for all of this to come to balance. It's all about the energy coming to balance. What does that mean? Balanced energy in the 3D is happiness. It's time for us all to get real happy. Actual happy. Not false, fake, everything looks good on the surface, underneath I'm dying inside happy. It's enough. It's enough of that. Where does that start? It starts with us acknowledging our emotions, with acknowledging unhappiness, with acknowledging our role in karmic connections. Because then you can make a change. Wheel of Fortune on top. There's big change coming in. It just takes acknowledging it to start this. Once this starts, it's like squeezing the rest of it out. You can't stop the Wheel of Fortune. These are big changes coming in, changes taking place. Changes that we've been fighting for a long time. When my 10-year relationship ended, there's a reason I'm talking about this. I'm not going to question it. I did everything in my power to fight it. I was devastated. There are parts of me that are still devastated, and I am processing through that. But guess what? I manifested that. So did she. It was a co-creation. We manifested it together. The end of that. We manifested the beginning of it. We manifested the end. Why? For a bigger purpose. So that both of our vibrations could rise. We had taught each other the lessons we came here to learn together. It became time to learn some different lessons so that our vibrations individually could rise, and we could begin attracting and manifesting from the soul the way that we truly intended to. Walking the soul's path. It's not an easy truth to acknowledge that the things in your life that have happened that weren't so pleasant were also things that you did, things that you created. It's not easy. Doesn't feel real good to acknowledge that, but when you do, you realize your power. You realize the control that you have. That's what this is teaching us. It's teaching us that all we have to do to take back that control is start feeling our emotions. It's ignoring our emotions, it's repressing them, that causes us to regurgitate, that causes us to create by default, unconsciously. When we consciously acknowledge and engage with what we're feeling, we can do it on purpose. That's it. And it's time for soul connections to come in. It's time for high-level soulmates to come together. Because the karmic ones have learned their lessons. Again, God bless karmic soulmates. Seriously. Seriously, they are the gurus. We are here teaching each other the hard lessons. That's how much we love each other. We're here to do the hard work together. But now that's done. It's done. It's time for high level, look at this, high level soulmates. Solid foundations built on truth, the truest of truth, to come together. Not fear, deep emotion. Why do I say that? Look, because the Queen of Cups is poking out from underneath. Working together on this. Also, in another layer of energy, we can't distract ourselves from the way that this feels, from the connections we're being drawn into. There's no more ability to be distracted from it, because the emotion is rising, because it's time for a big change. This is the foundation of New Earth, love, truth. I'm not supposed to shuffle anymore. That's it. Okay. Trusting intuition, that too. Teaching all of us to trust our intuition, which is that tiny voice which you can only hear when you're quiet. Listening to yourself. What's on top? Freaking liberation, baby. The life that we deserve. Everything breaking loose. The wheel of fortune is setting things in motion, and it's a lot of things all at once. Holy abundance of manifestations popping in is the feeling of this. And it's taking place. It's taking place regardless. It's trying to liberate all of us, the universe, to get us to stop fighting against ourselves. Let it flow with the energy. That means expressing your emotions, expressing the truths, going where intuition leads you without knowing exactly what it's leading to, just following it, just trusting. That's it. What else we got? Yeah, letting go of resistance. They go hand in hand. Liberation comes from the release of tension, from the realization that we are in complete control of ourselves, of our lives, of our experience of reality. Have I not said that ye are gods? Spoke Jesus in the Bible. Also, it's in the Old Testament, Psalm 82. We are deliberate divine creators, and it's time to come into the awareness of that and take back control of our own creation of reality. This is being broken loose. Absolutely broken loose. This is weak. These are threads. Literal. This is threadbare resistance. Yeah, because the Ace of Cups is in the soul, baby. This cup is flowing. What did I just say? It's time to experience and express emotion. We are all experiencing emotion at a heightened degree. That's what this pressure cooker of energy is doing. It's making people feel. Can't hide from it anymore. The emotion itself is being liberated. It's breaking loose. All of the barriers, all of the distractions, the ways we've tricked ourselves internally to try to repress and suppress it, it's not working anymore. It's being dissolved. That resistance to emotion is being dissolved. This cup is flowing in the soul. Hidden energy. I fucking love it. It's Age of Aquarius. It's my soul card. It's manifestations coming in. It's walking towards the soul path. It's all of those manifestations breaking loose. Holy abundance of manifestations. It's learning to trust, to follow the intuition, to follow the dream. How do you do that? By following the emotion, by letting it flow. Final outcome card. Soul connections. Deep soul connections becoming the new bond. A total release of the past is what I'm feeling. Deep soul connections. It's time for the intended soul mates to come together, because it's about the energy coming to balance. That's it. The cup is flowing. It's pushing everyone to follow their heart, to follow their emotion, because they can't deny it anymore. On the flip side of that, it means leaving past karmic connections. Recognizing the importance of the role that they've played in our lives. You can't know what you want with clarity without knowing some of what you don't want with as much clarity. We're starting to know we don't want the restriction. We don't want to keep the cup in the fridge. We want to express. We want to flow. We want to speak our truths. We want to support one another. Love is all encompassing, but it is not entrapment. It does not. It contains and expands simultaneously. It's the container that grows as that within it expands. Look at that. 6 of Swords from the pre-shuffle. Again, it's time for this to come to balance. It's time for a lot of doors to close. It's time for people to start walking, to start moving, to get in this boat and just start paddling and trust that it's taking you where you want to go. Yeah. We cannot lie to ourselves anymore about how important love is, about how important it is to have you. Cups live in the soul. Cups are of the soul. This belongs in the soul position. I am thrilled to see this here. This is what the universe is saying. Cups belong in the soul, not pentacles, not wands, not swords. Cups. Emotion. Living a life based on pentacles, living a life based on anything else is not going to satisfy you. It's love first. It's emotion first. Then it's speaking and acting on that emotion. That's it. That is the whole key to a happy life. Being in touch with your emotions, which are your intuition, your guidance system. Letting that be your primary form of perception and interaction with the world. Letting your mind follow that. The heart leads. 5 of Swords, bookending 6 of Swords, a direct escalation. It's time to stop fighting the feelings. I can't fight this feeling anymore. It's screaming in my head, and also Queens, I want to break free. Yeah, all of that. Knight of Pentacles, the Star, these manifestations want to come in. The things. See, when you're manifesting by default, you get a little bit of everything. You get a little bit of what you don't want, you get a little bit of what you do want. What a lot of people don't realize is we put everything we truly desire into the vortex, especially by daydreaming. When you're daydreaming and in that happy place, feeling what feels good. When you're up in the 5D on a vacation in Hawaii, sitting on the beach with your toes in the sand, you're manifesting that. You're adding energy to that. You're drawing that to you. These connections, these soul connections between the masculine and feminine, even people who haven't met, when you're just daydreaming about your perfect partner, they could be faceless, nameless, essentially just an energy form sitting next to you. When you're daydreaming about that, you are calling someone to you. The universe sees everything happening at once, because it is all happening at once simultaneously through every point of history, and sees the like components and starts to put them together. It's time for these like components that have been slowly, consistently working their way towards each other to actually come together. It's time for karma. I did not know that was there. I was looking at this, but it's karma directly underneath it. It's time for karma to be released. It's what I was about to freaking say. I love the universe and I love tarot. It's time for karma to be released, and because I can see it underneath, there's 10 pentacles. It's time for a whole new world. Why is the 9 of Pentacles here? Tell me about the 9 of Pentacles, please. It's a whole bunch of manifestations about to get liberated by people acknowledging their own emotions, by liberating themselves. Thank you. That was fast. Yeah, acknowledging their own emotions. King of Swords. Almost read Knight of Swords. It's a very forward moving energy. This is not stationary, this king. He's taking action on this liberation because we're moving from 9 pentacles to 10 pentacles. It's a direct escalation. It's time for these things to pop into the 3D. Cord cutting as well. Why the 10 pentacles? What did I just say? It's time for the manifestations, for destiny to pop into the 3D. This is a huge year. It's a huge month. The energy is going to keep moving this direction from now on. Period. That's what it is. We have initiated the 10-year cycle, which is a grander level cycle, 10 being the number of cycles, that is pushing us into the true initialization of the age of Aquarius. The singularity is approaching. What is the singularity? It's the realization of unity consciousness. It is the collective soul gaining collective awareness. It is all of us as individuals realizing that we are divine, that we are literally God. Each one of us. Have no other gods before you. Your personal experience of the self, of source, is God. That's it. How do you communicate with yourself? Through emotion, through intuition, by listening to yourself, not anybody else, to you. And that starts with removing the happy face sticker so you can accurately gauge, you can actually tune in to your own experience of self and hear that guidance. Why is the 4 of Pentacles here? To release fear. We are to become fearless. Absolutely fearless. To realize that every resource we could possibly require is within us. And as within, so without. To release fear. To step into our roles as divine, deliberate creators. This is divine guidance. What's on top? Come on, you don't get much more divine than this. God, source, energy. God, source, energy, coming to balance, restoring each of us to justice. Justice takes place through every level of energy. What is justice? It is balance. It's energetic balance. It's mutual reciprocation, equal flow, equal give and take. It's manifested as happiness. It's time to release fear by acknowledging our emotions and get real happy, not surface level, societally acceptable happy. The kind of happy that comes from knowing you are in complete control of your reality and that we are co-creating a new earth that is based on love, based on kindness, based on appreciation, on equal flow, equal give and take, on the witnessing of one another as God, source, divine. What's right with justice? Why is justice here? Everything I just said. Flow, open flow, equal give and take, letting source be the third party, not fear. Never again fear. Fear is not something that is allowed to rule. Not anymore. Not once you realize how puny and paltry and powerless it is. Fear is something that you have created. It's time to create from a higher level of consciousness, knowing what you are capable of, knowing we are capable of creating celebration, happiness together. Open flow. It's time to release fear as that which no longer serves us. Why is the Ace of Cups here? To manifest from the heart. The heart is the soul. Heart-based manifestation is the only true manifestation. Not the mind, the heart. It's time to start flowing with the feeling. Speaking these truths, I'm just drawn to the blue. There's a lot of blue here. Two of Cups are overall base energy. Cups belong in the soul. It's time to start working together, first of all, by manifesting from the soul level. Speaking these truths, sharing these emotions with one another. It's time for true soulmates to come together as well. This is what we're manifesting. Oh, I split the deck and I don't even know which one was at the bottom, but I have the Chariot card of this soulmate cycle, card of Cancer, cardinal water sign, ruler of emotion and balance. Again, we have balance, red with balance, red with everything. What's red with the Two of Cups? Just so much blue. The truth is leaking out. These emotions are leaking out. We can't hide this anymore. It's leaking out. This kind of energy underneath the soul, these are the connections that we intended to be in as part of the foundation, the initialization of New Earth. And it's now they're taking place. It's time for them to take place because that's what's happening. We're at this stage. It's time for the world to come to balance, the whole of the earth, for a new cycle, for masculine and feminine energy to be balanced, for the Emperor to be balanced within himself, which means driving this chariot with the Empress. Why is the Star here? just hearing Age of Aquarius. Also Xanadu. Ooh. It's time for the real manifestations. The ones we intended. It's time to stop delaying destiny. Okay. 2 swords. Not 2 swords. It's time to stop delaying destiny by the removal of obstacles. I'm just going to say that. It's not what jumped out. The removal of obstacles. This was crossing the 9 Pentacles, where we talked about cutting the cords, cutting the connections to karma, cutting the connections to fear, removing those obstacles. Ace of Wands. 10 red with the 10 Pentacles. Because this is staying lit. It is time for a new beginning. Time for a new beginning. Time to stop sleeping on the destined manifestations. They are coming in. This is what we actually prayed for. Time to realize, by acknowledging our emotions, oh yes, this is what I want. Now I know clearly. I've peeled the sticker off my gas gauge and I know I've been sitting in shit. I'm not happy. I'm not happy with this. That is what it is. I'm so grateful that now I have the awareness to witness it, because I know what is happy. What is happy? It's on the other side of that stick. It is every time. It's all relative. I've been sitting in this, and the whole time without realizing it, I've been praying for something different. And that something different is here. It's here. It's time for me to take action on it, to move towards it. What did I just say? This was red with the 4 of Pentacles up here. My buddy Rigo is leaving. He's a good dude. This was red with the 4 of Pentacles. It's crossed by the 4 of Pentacles. It's time to cut out fear. It's time to stop holding back. That was the whole initial message before I sat down to do this. It's time to stop holding back. Stop holding back our emotions, our truths. Stop holding back from speaking them and sharing them with one another. Stop engaging in connections that are holding back on us and that are holding us back from moving towards the destined path. That includes internal behaviors as well. It's time to stop that so we can come to balance. And look at, there's that freaking 2 of Swords that I just talked about. Everybody's leaving. It's a good day. It's time to come to balance. It's time to stop clinging to pentacles and actually realize the flowing of emotions is how we balance. Balance is found in the flow, not in clinging to something, not in withholding and keeping our emotions still. It becomes toxic like still water. It's time for this to break free. Look at that. I don't know if you get much more immediate transformation than Knight of Wands crossed by death. That's bold. That's sudden. We got Aries season coming in right after Pisces. Saturn is moving into Pisces. Jupiter is staying in Aries until May. And they're interacting with each other, bouncing around the whole next couple of months. It's time to act on our emotions. We're starting to get brave. We're starting to believe in our intuition, to trust our feelings to guide us. Why? Because nothing else feels good. Nothing else feels good anymore. And we can't deny it. We can't deny it. This is all we want, is to move towards this, is to feel and to be guided by feeling. Why is the 6 of Cups here? Laying a new foundation. Realization of unity consciousness, of the interconnectedness of all of us. And that starts with these powerful destined soulmate connections of every kind, romantic, platonic, business, every single kind. We are going to start interacting with people in a different way, meeting people who are different, who engage with us differently, who see us differently, who appreciate us at a deeper level, and we appreciate them the same way. Six of Wands, red, with justice. Struck by the 6 on 6 as well. That's depth. It's the dive. It's intuition. It's that which is hidden under the surface, coming to the surface. Queen of Pentacles and Temperance. It's time to exist in a new way, to view ourselves as the divine creators, as the Elohim that we are, by speaking, communicating these truths. And it's time for balance. It's time for holy flowing cups. The cards are just seeing what happened to kind of separate itself. Ace of Cups crossed by 5 of Pentacles. It's time to take that cup out of the fridge. It's overflowing. It's flowing anyway. It's time for everything to come in from the cold. Yes, for all of these manifestations that have been on the outskirts, it's time for them to come in, because they can't be held back any longer. They're flowing anyway. It's melting anyway. Queen of Pentacles. Temperance. What's red with 6 of Wands? The Moon. It's coming in anyway. No more being ruled by fear. The torch is lit. That's all I can see. These connections are being highlighted this month. Emotion will not be kept down. Our drive towards them, our realization of what is truly wanted, what it is that we really desire, what really makes us happy, and just a compulsion to move towards it. When you ask to be delivered to divine justice and you surrender your will up, you surrender what that means. The universe sees you as a complete like component to the balancing of energy. When other people surrender up to divine justice, it's the same thing. And now we are being witnessed as justice for one another, as balanced energy, compatible with one another, like components to one another, and so are being pushed together in this way to experience mutual victory. It's justice, it's victory, it's balance at every level of existence. That's why it's so perfect. That's why it's divinely guided and designed, and so far beyond anything a 3D mind could comprehend. It's balanced down to the quantum. That's what these connections are intended to do. That's why they're being driven together. All of it has to do with the manifestation, the ascension of New Earth, the collective raising of vibrations, and it's taking place. That's just what it is. Final words from the universe. Final words from the universe on this. What just flipped out? Death. That's beautiful. I love that. It is certain transformation. Transformation. I like that too. It's absolutely, it's death and taxes. The things that come to all people that are unavoidable. As I'm saying, unavoidable, 8 of Pentacles. No more ability to distract from this. It's what it is. You can't hide from death or taxes. You can't hide from this energy. Did something else just fall out? Oh, that was weird. I swore I felt it. I hope I didn't lose it. You can't hide from this energy. You can't avoid the transformations taking place. None of us can. It's happening anyway. And we're back where we started. The final card of the pre-shuffle, Six of Swords. It's coming to balance anyway. Yep. Death. The end of burdens. The end of suffering. It's those blockages being dissolved. You can't stop this. The dam is breaking. That's just what it is. The dam is breaking. The flood is coming forth to push everyone and everything into balance, to push us towards liberation, to stop the distractions. We can't hide from this anymore. What's fueling this? Oh, we cannot hide. It's an end of suffering, but the suffering is revealing how fruitless the suffering is. We're peeling the sticker off of the gas gauge and realizing I can't hide. I can't pretend how unhappy I am in this anymore. I gotta make a move. Yep. Oh, that's a lot of unhappy. I can't pretend how unhappy I am in this anymore. Gotta go. I gotta make a move. When the Lord get ready, you got to move. That's what it is. It's, yeah, literally judgment, bookending that Six of Swords. And just for good measure, we have divine timing underneath. These seeds are sprouting. They are bursting forth. They will not be stopped. What are these seeds? They are the divine manifestations of true balanced energy that all of us have been planting for a very long time. It's time for this. It's gonna keep being time for this. I know I sound like a broken record, and believe me, I feel it too. I fucking feel it. But it's going to keep being time for this. Energy is timeless. It's just saying this is what it is from now on. It's going to keep moving this direction. Everyone still has free will, but the more of us that are surrendering it up to the divine will, the more it's adding to this tidal wave that's pushing everybody else towards their path of destiny, towards the true, the positive karmic contracts, because karma is not just negative, it's positive too. That's what we're moving towards, accruing positive karma together. These are our intended soul contracts, those which are of fortune and expansion. And we can't run from it. There's nothing you can do to hide from your blessings. They're coming in one way or the other. The walls are coming down. The dam is breaking. That's it. That's the whole message. This one was nice and quick. I mean, 43 minutes quick, but, you know. Yeah. I feel good. I love doing this. It's all for me, because it feels happy. It's energy flowing. It's flowing my soul, letting it express. And I do hope that this resonates. I hope you can feel this energy, because it is transformative. It is powerful. Just flow with it. Just trust it. Tap into it. Let it take you where it takes you. Let your emotions flow. You can't fuck it up. We're releasing fear. That includes releasing the fear that we can screw anything up. You're a divine deliver creator. This is all for your benefit. Everything is for your benefit. If you enjoyed this, if you resonated with this, I would love to know. Leave me a comment, a like, subscribe if you're interested in this. There's all kinds of crazy shit that I post, because this is just a video diary of the spiritual journey, basically. So if you're here for it, I'm here for it. I'm here for you. I'm here for all of this, wherever the fuck it leads. Have a beautiful day, collective. I love you. You are powerful, divine beings capable of absolutely anything. It's time to recognize that. I love you so much. Stay blessed.